Clap it up for Angel is everybody. Straight from East Los.
In a job selection for the government right now, so I can't get hurt.
Oh, okay. So you're staying away from it?
So I'm staying away from competition right now, but if I don't get in, then yeah, I'll go back to competing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's smart.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, trained by Coach Oyama himself is, you know, I don't want to take advantage, you know, I want to do all I can with it if I can.
Yeah, for sure. Even if it's just for the life growth and
Dude,
like
100%,
internally, then that's still super. That's something like that'll be valuable for the rest of your life, like even for your kids and stuff.
Well, I tell people, man, if you want to discover who you really are and what you're made of, brother, go down to Team Oyama and get in with those guys.
Yeah.
It'll show you what kind of man you are. Dude, you know?
Yeah. It's like a kind of a misconception, right? Because it's like you're tough here, but then when you go here and everybody's tough there, then it's kind of, then you see who's really tough.
Bro, because
right?
I used to think, I was like, you know, I'm a bad motherfucker, dude. You know, and I'd look at people and I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember this one guy showed up, you know, and I was like, oh, this guy's about to spar with us? I was like, oh, I'm going to tee off on this guy. Yeah. And it was the complete opposite. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no, dude. You learn real quick, like, oh.
What happened, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good all around, bro. It's. I couldn't finish a list of all the things that it's good for.
Dude,
it's literally just this, that,
100%.
everything, fitness, mentality, mental health. Oh my, just endless. The people you meet.
For me, it matches. I mean, it checks all boxes, dude.
Right.
You know, and it gives you like a good sense of community it can come from like any type of background, creed, religion, money, whatever. Like everybody meets at the gym, and it kind of takes away everything else that's going on, man.
Right, and that's how you know a lot of it's like kind of bullshit too, right? That like the war. I'm okay. Like, you know, the politics and the left and right and the this and the religious like all like it's all, you put people in a room, give them something to do, a challenge, and they bond immediately.
100%. You ever had those like hard sessions, bro? You've been sparring, and you can tell your partner's pushing and you're pushing.
Yeah.
And at the end of that round, no matter what you believe or whatever, I'll most all the time give that dude a hug. And hey, that's a hell of a round,
sure,
brother.
yeah.
Thanks for the round.
It's like a special moment.
It's a special moment, dude.
For sure. It's like very
100%.
like the respect you earn each other's respect, and to like the physicality of it, and then like seeing that, all right, that was that, and now I just get to hug you and boom, respect, and all right, fuck, all right,
dude, this is cool.
Let me get these 45 seconds, bro.
I need to breathe, brother.
Yeah, don't hug too tight. Let me get these 45 seconds to breathe. Yeah, it's fucking awesome, bro.
But I never been to a gym. Like I started boxing and stuff when I was a kid, bro. I started wrestling when I was super young, and I never really had like expert coaches. We were just kind of, you know, I was from Sissonville, West Virginia. It ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like
working with what you had, making the best of it.
Even like scholastically, nothing's really like you ain't gonna find West Virginia like top 10 at anything except for like maybe we're the best coal mining state, and we got like
I was gonna say
OD rates and shit, you know.
I was gonna say mining.
That's about it, you know. Yeah. You know, so like the coaching and school and all that stuff, it's not the best, man. So to be there at Team Oyama at a world class place is like it's kind of a blessing for me, even though I'm not like fighting right now. But
kind of like a little bit of a mind trip too, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So you don't even think you're there, but then when you like outside perspective and you see like when Coach, I think it was Robert's last fight, I was watching the weigh-ins, and Dana's eyes lit up when he saw him. And when he looked at him and he just had a big ass smile, and he went to go hug him immediately. Yeah. Like he just walked over, he just big ass smile, and his eyes were like oh shit, like damn, it's royalty, and
yeah, man,
royalty of the sport.
100%. And Robert, man, that guy, he fights I think 145 or 155.
45.
45.
Yeah.
Or he probably walks around 165, 170.
Yeah.
I walk around 205 and that guy puts it on me, brother. I'm like, I don't really want to spar with this guy today.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, no, he
It
got.
makes you think.
He's definitely Aztec bloodline for sure, bro.
Something.
Yeah, he's
Something. Props
he got
to that
indigenous spirit for sure, like a motherfucker.
man, you know. But outside of that, man, humblest, kind, nicest
Yeah,
dude.
for sure. Everybody, it's like a common thing. Everybody
I
is,
think so.
bro. Yeah,
I think so. Because there's like that ego check kind of deal, you know.
Yeah, and
Everybody's ego is pretty in check.
yeah, you can't really have an ego when you're fucking howling on the floor, fucking barely breathing.
Yeah,
and
bro, 100%, man.
it's the people out in the outside world that have that ego that they haven't done that today or this week or
And
last
I'm sure you know
last
people
month.
like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I do for a living, man. I run into a lot of young men, dude, 18, 25-year-old, and they're struggling with XYZ, whether it's alcoholism, drug addiction, mental health, whatever it is. And a lot of it, dude, has to do with like personality and ego.
Right.
You know, it's unchecked ego, and it's like their self-wills just run riot.
Right,
They don't have any outlet, nowhere to put it, and it just creates chaos in themselves.
Yeah, energy just overloading.
100%.
It's weird how there's like an arrogance to addiction. Like there's like a
You're
like,
absolutely
I got
right.
it. I
You're
got it
absolutely
figured out.
right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm good. I've been had it figured out.
For sure,
Yeah,
dude.
and it's just,
That's like the main thing with like, if someone is an actual drug addict or actual alcoholic, they'll think that they're above or they've got the game figured out.
Yeah.
And it runs completely off of selfishness and self-centeredness surrounding that condition.
right.
Yeah.
And which it's
100%.
weird considering what you're doing. Like, you're not doing anything productive. Like, if you were,
Bro.
I would get it if you got caught up, like, you know, like Conor McGregor, like, bro, when he fell into the ego trap, but where did it got him up there, so it's not justified because you still want to be a good person and a good role model, but it makes a little bit more sense because goddamn, he elevated from being a plumber to fucking being,
dude.
you know, worth $500 million.
The famous quote, 60 G's, baby. He was on welfare and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
where
he's supposedly, I guess, the cocaine stuff or whatever. I don't know what's going on with him,
Right,
but
yeah.
like you can just tell. Like,
yeah, for sure.
the dude probably ain't right.
No.
He don't seem like it.
It's unfortunate that there's other outlets like it doesn't, but that's the fighting though, right? The fighting was all he had. He was so invested in it. He was so obsessive with it. That's why he was so good. So once he made all this money, business, right? When you get to that level, it's like business kind of, the success is almost given. When you have that much money behind it, you hire the right people, and you kind of let it run itself in a way. Mm-hmm. It's not like being a startup entrepreneur where your whole life's on the line. So I think the business was not enough of an outlet for him to really like obsess over and focus on.
Sure, I think when he lost that or retired or whatever happened, you know, that drive kind of like dissipated and he went and pivoted towards another route. You know, you got all the money, the fame.
Yeah.
There was a famous quote. What I forget what boxer said. Maybe Evander Holyfield. It was a heavyweight boxer. I forget, but he said it's hard to get up and run when you're sleeping in satin sheets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you got everything, all of that stuff around you, dude, it's hard to get up and run those miles, dude.
Bro, it's hard to get up and run when you're sleeping on the couch, bro.
Oh,
like,
man.
Anything. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, so it's unfortunate, but you know, I wish him the best for sure. It was an incredible ride.
Yeah.
It was
And what he does
ride.
with the BKFC, like you got to respect it.
Yeah.
You got to respect it. I mean, and I think those guys, like the Perry fight that's coming up, I mean, those guys are getting paid.
Yeah.
I think
he's a part.
They take care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's also unfortunate because like nothing's gonna be as interesting for him, right? Like he already.
No, dude, he's a double champ. He's been there. He's did it. He had the Mayweather fight.
Yeah, the Aldo knockout. You know, he essentially changed. He had the world at his fingertips and gave him 13 seconds of anticipation and took it away from them like that, bro.
Like back then, I think that 2015, 2016 era with the McGregor and the MMA. Dude, I used to have house parties for McGregor fights. People would have house. Last time I had a house party for a UFC fight, I don't know, I might have had some boys over. We grilled some steaks or whatever for the DDP thing or whatever. But it wasn't like a McGregor house party.
No,
dude,
no.
You know
It
what I mean?
was there was a.
So
You knew what everybody was doing. You know what everybody was doing. That was a
100%,
big
dude.
deal, man. It was a super big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking guy.
Yeah, dude. But how'd you get started in this?
Really, it was just knowing. I thought about it the other day. Like, man, it's almost scary how much of Team Oyama is a cornerstone of this show and this endeavor that I'm trying to do. Because it was partly knowing a lot of people that were inspiring and had a lot of good stories and different stories at Team Oyama.
Yep.
And then I know a lot of people that grew up with me that experienced how our city was in East LA and those type of and that lifestyle, and they, so that's a whole story in itself. And then I make music, so I know a lot of artists and like creators and people that come from out of state just to live in LA to chase their dream.
100%.
So that's inspiring.
That's me, bro.
Right.
I moved out here to chase my dreams. And at the time, I didn't really know what my dream really was. You know, I didn't have anything figured out. Like, I come out here with like $25-$30 in my pocket and a hope for a better life.
That's
I mean,
Yeah.
that was it, dude. And it was, God, looking back on it now, it's crazy to think about, dude.
Do you think you found it?
The thing is, I always want to achieve more, man.
Right.
So like, a dream for me, I don't want to have like just X dream, and if I achieve that, then maybe I don't have anything else to look forward
Which
to.
is
So
the
I
same
want to
thing.
continue to
Yeah.
continue to level up and do well, whatever that may be. But I think the ultimate dream for me is to go out to dinner and to do whatever I want, not have to worry about it financially, and still have my people, my family, the ones I love, and everything else around me, and not have to worry too much about the day-to-day mundane stuff like insurance bill. You know what I mean? I think if I could do that in some facet, that'd be like a dream come true in itself. And then I would have something else I need to do. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's also good if you find something internally that drives you, like, oh, I just want to be the best in like whatever I could, like I just want to get better every day, like whatever that may be. If it's I just want to read a little bit more, I want to run a mile faster, I want to take care, I want to be financially, like whatever those little things, because I think the external goals, of course they're good, and of course they're achievable if you work hard enough, but there's if you get them, then what? If you didn't
right.
if
Then
you
you
didn't
get 'em,
build
then what?
Yeah, if you didn't build like a support system and an internal I guess like a value structure,
Sure.
like of what you believe in.
100%, man. And I don't know, like a lot of people, it's funny enough, dude. I used to be in love with this video game, bro. And it's Halo. When the first Xbox come out, I loved it, bro. For a guy like me, a redneck from West Virginia, man, I was born in the middle of the woods in a double wide trailer, bro. I mean, to go to town was like a big deal.
Right.
We made the monthly trip to Walmart, and we had little vacations. We had everything we needed as a family. My mom stayed home, my dad worked, and this and that. But I remember, man, I got an Xbox, and we had I had a cousin, and they lived in Florida. So for us to go to like Florida was crazy, bro, to go see them. And my uncle, his name's Larry, he worked for Eglin Air Force Base. So they made some good money, which was like a big treat to go to Florida to stay with Aunt Day and Uncle Larry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be eating good, and having a good time down there. And they had this Xbox. And you could hook this Xbox up to the internet somehow, something that we didn't even have internet.
Right.
We had like cable TV.
Yeah.
And you could play with other people around the world. And eventually, whenever my aunt and uncle come to West Virginia to visit my grandma and us, they brought my cousin. And then they bought me an Xbox. And then helped us hook up the internet. And I played Halo, and I met this dude. And he said he was from Huntington Beach, California. And I got the chance to meet him out here whenever I moved out here, dude, for playing Halo. Dude, we played Halo for like 15 years together, dude. And I finally met him. And all those years, I was like, Huntington Beach, it'd be sick to go to California. How cool would that be? Like, people where I'm from only dreamed to come out here, and now I get to live out here and do the things I like to do. And it's kind of wild how life plays out,
We didn't take it for granted because we always knew how cool LA was, how cool California was. But when I started meeting artists and or people at Oyama that are like, no, I'm from I hear Virginia a lot, or I hear Colorado, Seattle. Like, I'm here for my music, bro. Like, I'm here to, or people at the gym, like, I'm here to chase this dream too. Like oh shit, like no, like this, you know, like I am lucky too, you know, like in the sense I won a lot, you know. It's not it's a geographical lottery.
For sure.
Yeah, you know, to be here.
100%. And you got to think, bro, like with this whole setup, I mean, this is super professional. It's dope as hell. I mean, some people only think about doing shit like this, you know, and they never actually do it.
For sure. Yeah, which I encourage everybody to just try.
Like, I've thought about doing some stuff like this or whatever, and I've just been like, but you actually did it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, for sure.
You're putting that out into the world, man, and having cool people on here and stuff. So I mean, this is super cool, dude.
Yeah, thank you for being on. Which it would be nothing without people willing to say yeah. I mean, I would still do some episodes, but they're gonna be a little difficult.
I was nervous, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, brother, I don't. Dude, the last time I did like had the mic in my face. We did this little promo thing for my work or whatever to try to market for drug addiction and mental health awareness and stuff. And
the one you posted to your story.
Yeah. That's the first thing that I've done like this in a long time. The last one was much more serious, bro. You know, I was on I was on a TV show, an episode of Intervention on A&E, dude, and that's what's really brung me out to California. They scholarshiped me to come out here, dude, and it was wild, Angel, dude. It was insanity, man.
When I asked you a couple months ago, because I knew where you were from. I'm like, well, this would be way different from how I grew up, where I grew up. So like that's automatically interesting to me.
Probably completely different.
Yeah, right, 100%.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, we'll talk about how you made it here to Orange County, your journey, because I know it's a journey.
Oh man.
And
I'd like to know a little bit about East LA. I stayed in a Motel 6 out in East LA with my girlfriend one time, bro.
Yeah, that's bold.
We're like, that's bold. That's bold.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were getting into, man. And we were going to go see this Harry Potter live show at the Hollywood Bowl, and they would pick us up in a bus, or we'd go to this little spot in East LA, and the bus would take us to the Hollywood Bowl. We were like, all right, cool. And man, we were in that Motel 6, and I was like, all right, babe, I'm gonna walk to 7-Eleven, you know, to get us, because this 7-Eleven had like silverware and whatever, and some drinks, because we ordered Panda Express, Uber Eats.
Oh yeah,
brother, I was walking over there, man. They stopped me right at the door. They're like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going to 7-Eleven, you know. And then they heard my accent. They're like, where are you from, you know? And I was like, you know, I'm in Fountain Valley, California. And they're like, no, where are you from? You know, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm from West Virginia, man. They're like, oh shit, where's that? I got to it and explain. And then and then they told me about the best taco trucks around here and shit. Yeah. So like whenever I think like East LA, I think about that. And like these dudes telling me where the I thought they was like going to rob me, but they turned out to be cool as hell.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you got to go down here off of this street and you go to this taco truck. Bring your girl. And I was like, we're here for the Hollywood Bowl, but maybe next time, bro.
Yeah,
you know, so
I'm not opposed to some tacos.
Absolutely.
Maybe if you guys aren't there, then I'll go.
Yeah, maybe if y'all ain't there. Yeah, but it was an experience for sure. So every time I think of East LA, man, I think of like street tacos, street food, and that type of deal.
Street life for sure.
For sure, right?
Street gangs, street violence, street toughness for sure. Street friends. Like it's a big city. It's a big city. It's you know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, where I grew up, yeah, definitely. It's a lot of gang violence, a lot of drug addiction, a lot of priorities mixed up, a lot of you know, I would say poverty too. Like a lot of poverty, a lot of food stamps, welfare, things like that. Priorities mixed up. Which, I mean, that when I say it like that, it does minus maybe the gangs, right? But I'm sure it sounds like a lot like
that's similar.
Yeah,
it's very, very similar.
Which is strange, right?
And like everything they call it like mountain culture, you know. And there's a great artist. If you listen to his music, dude, he's a folk kind of guy. He's shifting a little bit, you know, with his new album. His name's Tyler Childers.
Yeah, I've heard him.
But if you listen to his older music, a couple albums called Bottles and Bibles, like the old saying, the preacher's drinking again type of deal. pain pills and keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills.
Yeah.
You know, darkest days from like the coal mines and how they used to, the mining companies used to enslave the people.
Yeah.
And pay them in script, and you were like basically enslaved to the coal company. And coming out of that turmoil, formed like mountain culture and things, and it never really got away from the. It never really got away from the turmoil. It just kind of evolved from that.
So like, how don't tell me to pull myself up by bootstraps when I don't have boots, type of thing. Like, you already start so far back.
Exactly, dude. You know, like my dad's worked in a chemical plant, handling hazardous materials for a certain company, and that place is blowed up twice. It blew up twice, man. Killed multiple people, and then poisonings and shit. You know, my dad's 55, and he's like, he's fucked up because of that. You know, so it's just rough living there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wasn't headed. My dad does well, you know, for West Virginia, but I wasn't headed toward. I was headed towards with my other cousins. I got like my mom's side and then my dad's side. My dad's aunt and uncle Larry, you know, down in Florida, they do well. Yeah. Right.
Earn it.
They earn that shit.
Like your dad too.
And like my dad, man. And then there's my mom. My mom's like the only good. My mom's got 4 brothers, you know, and I got 16 cousins. And one of them's doing life in prison. Multiple are addicted to drugs. One was murdered. And I don't know. I seen something like that was more luring than my aunt and uncle Larry and the nice Florida life and going to church. That just all that chaos and stuff was like, I guess I got it misconstrued in my head. I thought it was like cool, bro.
At least it wasn't boring, maybe.
It was not boring.
It wasn't quiet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, bro. We'd make trips going to Florida back and forth when the oxycodone. They called it the Oxy Express.
Right.
You know, we go down there and get those blues and stuff and bring them back and this and that, dude. And that led me down a whole road of destruction, brother. The things I've done and seen. I mean, I think about it now and I'm like, I would never. Like, what kind of crazy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild, dude.
Well, I was talking about this recently. It's that now you get to look back at it through this morality that you have. So you have like a new perspective, a new vision. But when you were in it, like we can't blame our past selves for what they were doing now. You know, like we could only blame ourselves for what we do today. You know, that's it's just it's a part of the journey, but. It's an unfortunate part of the journey, but nonetheless, it's a part of the journey.
Dude, it is 100%. I think, unless I went down that road, I don't think I'd be the man I am today. Honestly, like there's a great saying, man. It's, we don't regret the past nor wish to shut the door on.
Right.
You know, because those past experiences can help you become a better person or help someone else become a better person because of your experiences you've had, whether they're bad or good.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's tough, man. My sister, she really loves me, man. She saved my life, bro. She saved my life. I was thinking about, you know, here in Orange County, you know, some parts of Orange County, you see like a lot of homeless people and things, you know. And you walk by those people every day. You don't pay them any mind. You know, you just look at them. You're like, most people are like, oh, that bum.
Right.
That degenerate. Ooh, you know, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, all the choices they made.
Yeah.
Like, they had their choices.
Deserve that.
Yeah.
At one point in time, bro, that was me. Sitting out by the mall, stealing cigarette butts from the trash can, asking random people for change and dollars so I could go get a pint of liquor. At one point, you know, 100%. And I would get in my truck and I'd go sleep underneath F Street Bridge by the KFC. You know? And then I went to jail a couple of times and my folks were like, and I got this girl pregnant. And I got out of jail actually, and then she told me she was pregnant. So I was like, "Oh shit!" So that scared me.
Yeah.
And I went back to my parents' house, you know, and I told myself, I said, "I swear to God, I'm gonna straighten myself out. I'm about to have a baby boy, you know." And I promise, if you would have gave me a lie detector test, Angel, I'd have told you, brother.
You would have believed yourself.
I'm gonna be a better man. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna be like my father, you know, which was my hero, dude, because he was a hard-working dude.
Yeah.
You know, sacrificed his entire life for me and my sister and my mom.
Tough hands.
He's a tough motherfucker, dude. And I think I lasted like 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, I lasted like 3 days, and I was on this government methadone clinic program and taking a bunch of other crap with it and drinking every day and wasting my life. And my sister, she she would videotape me and I'd get mad at her, you know, because I thought she was going to use it against me, like with the police and stuff.
Right.
Because I had just gotten out of jail and I was like, she's trying to throw me back into jail. And my other cousin, he just went to jail for armed robbery and armed robbery, kidnapping, and later on murder, you know. But I was like, dang, she's gonna feed this to the police, because the police already questioned me about all this other stuff and burglaries and shit too.
You were already on the, already on their list.
Exactly. And then they had this other stuff. I had a buddy that used to make methamphetamine, you know, and I don't know how to do none of that shit, but he did. So I'd hang around him.
Right.
And then I went to jail one time, my baby mom, blah, 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 blah. Then they questioned me about a drug manufacturing site's what they called it, you know. I was like, oh my God, this is my life, man.
Yeah.
What am I doing? You know, what a loser, how screwed up I am. And I'll never be a good son or a good father.
Good anything.
A good anything, man. And my sister, she kept videotaping me. I'd be like, quit fucking videotaping me. But she was videotaping me, bro, to send those in to this A&E intervention people or whatever. I had no clue.
Yeah.
You know? And they eventually sent me like this camera and they said, can you videotape yourself? I was like, no. No, I cannot. You know?
You want me to do the cop's job for them?
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude? No way. But one night, dude, I got so messed up. I turned that video camera on. I started cussing them out because I thought that they would be inside the camera. They would be able to see it or something.
Like live stream.
I know you're trying to get me. Fuck you. You know, and then I would like have conversations with that camera, and I guess they thought that was gold.
Yeah.
You know, and then I seen the psychiatrist, and the next thing you know, they were like at my doorstep, Angel.
Right.
I was like, who the fuck are y'all? They were like,
what the fuck
hey.
is happening now?
Yeah, they were like, hey, I'm Jenny, I'm Brian. And I'm like, all right, my mom and dad are like, no, they're cool, don't worry. And I'm like, they gonna give us any money or take me down to the methadone clinic? I'm trying to, you know, and so on and so forth, dude. They come in the house and they stayed with me for a week, and they told me, dude, they were like, we're gonna make a medical documentary to show like medical students like how to assess like drug addiction in the ERs or something.
To help people and
yeah, bro. When I'm telling you, these people, you got to think, dude. Like, if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, and you've seen Intervention or any of those shows, and you think I'll never be on that. I won't be stupid enough to do that.
yeah.
Let me tell you. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. These people got 30 seasons of this shit, or however many Emmy nominees, golden, whatever the hell, okay? And they are experts at what they do. Bro, they know it down to a science. And they played me like a fiddle. I mean, it helped save my life.
Right,
But they did. They played me like a fiddle, dude, and...
How did they manipulate you and...
What? They didn't manipulate me, dude. They just knew, like... exactly what to say when to say it.
Right.
You know, like
they...
After like a couple of days, I was like, I started to get in my mind, because I was pretty aware. I wasn't like an ignorant guy.
Right.
I was like, I ain't going nowhere with y'all. And then they were like, you see these cameras? We can't afford to take you anywhere. I was looking at the cameras and I was like, yeah, those do look like shitty cameras. All right. You know, like, it made sense, bro. It made sense.
Right.
But then they had this one, I'll tell you this, they had this one big ass camera that they kept in the van. And I got a peek at it. I was like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it, right? And I went online. It's called a RED camera, brother, okay? This fucking thing was worth like 10 grand. So in my mind, I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Okay. So my folks was talking to him, and I was sneaking down to the van. Boy, I was sneaking down to the van, dude. I was high as hell, dude. I was going to go on the run, dude. I was like, I'm going to get that camera.
With a 80-pound camera?
Oh, dude, I was going to fucking throw it back in my car and take off, dude. My car's got a duct tape bumper, no license plate, shit. I was going to go take it to Will's Pawn Shop in South Charleston, dude, and then I was going to go on a spree like you've never seen before, dude. They caught me. My dog started barking, dude. They're like, "What are you doing down there?" I was like, "Oh, I lost something. I'm looking for something." They're like, "Get the hell out of that van. What are you doing?" And then later they're like, "You're trying to steal our stuff, huh?" And I was like, No, I wouldn't do that.
Never.
I would never do that to you guys.
Y'all my friends.
Yeah, y'all are my
friends.
Yeah,
what was that?
bro, I was trying to get their shit for sure, dude. And anywhere they went with me, bro, they would, because I'd be drinking and driving all over town. It was like my MO. And then I'd stop over at some place and pick up some other shit, and I'd be like, pull over at like just a Go Mart or a gas station, whatever. I'd pull around back by the dumpster and I'd smoke a little crack, you know. And at that point, the dude would like put on his like safety belt around his neck and shit. And I'd be like, "Are you ready to go?" He'd be like, "Whenever you are." I'd take a big drink of whiskey, another hit of crack, and I'd be like, "All right, we're on the road, brother."
Hell yeah.
You know, and
shout out to them.
Shout out to them,
being
dude.
willing to do that.
Yeah.
Ballsy move too by them.
Yeah, dude. I asked him, I said, "You want a hit?" And he was like, No. It's all you, bro. And I was like, all right, more for me. And later on, dude, I just kept that cycle going for about a week, and they brought me to this like Embassy Suites, dude, like a nice hotel in town. Like there's the Marriott and there's the Embassy Suites in Charleston. Like if you're staying there and you got money.
Yeah.
And it started to click a little bit. I was like, "Oh, I thought you guys said the shitty cameras," but then I seen a really good camera. You guys are staying at this hotel, and I was like,
right. So didn't register for the
like
entire
5
time.
days.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, and I took them on all kinds of drug deals and stuff, and they, videotaped me getting drunk. And you got to think, man, at this point, I had like no resources left, man. I mean, when you're talking about hopelessness, futility of life as you've been living it, no dreams, no aspirations, anything like that. Nothing, dude.
And then like in a city like that, you don't really see anything that's gonna inspire change. You know, like no disrespect, of course. And
absolutely,
like we thought about Kobe Bryant, like as kids. We knew Kobe works hard. He's this. You want to be like Kobe, but when you're trapped in such a cycle like that, it's
brutal, dude. Like there's nothing really like that.
Yeah.
You know, the only time I really ever did like decent in my life was whenever I was a part of the wrestling team.
Right.
You know, and then after that, I joined the Charleston Recreation boxing team. It was at the boxing gym was probably like a 12 by 12 room. It barely had enough room for a ring in it, dude. You know, and it was at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center, dude. And I was like the only white kid in there. You know, in the inner city in Charleston, there's blacks, and then I'm from the hills, white.
Yeah.
Man, they beat me like a drum, dude. They beat me like a drum. But I kept going back. You know, and they were like, "Yo," they're like, "White boy, you like this, huh?" And I was like, I do like this. You know? And,
yeah, I'm not going to leave.
You know, my dad was like, "You ain't quitting. You
Yeah.
started this, you're going to finish it out. We
Yeah.
paid for it. We're going to finish this 3 months out." At the end of the 3 months, we paid him again.
Hell yeah.
And met a guy named Gary Toney. He coached the 2000 Olympic team. Took him to Beijing. It was pretty cool. He said he'd take me to Olympic trials and stuff whenever I was younger, and at that part of my life with the wrestling team, the boxing team, it was I fit right in with those guys. Same thing. It doesn't matter like race, color, creed, none of that.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, "Oh, that's Sturgill from the mountains. He's with us."
Yeah.
You know, it didn't matter because we were Charleston Rec boxing team.
Yeah.
We traveled all over the state and some parts of Ohio to box, and we stayed with each other and hung out.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, dude. We had this big. It was a church van actually that the community center let us borrow, and my dad, and then Coach Gary and Coach Tommy would drive us all around. We'd all sleep in that van. Have all our gear, man. I'd sleep in the seat. You know. Oh man, because we was all poor.
Yeah,
it didn't matter.
yeah.
White, black. We was all poor.
The hustle.
You know. But man, putting them gloves on and getting in the ring, it made it feel like you were part of something bigger, you know. And had all the people behind you cheering and stuff, and same thing with the wrestling team. There was no money in wrestling. There's really no money in Olympic wrestling now.
Yeah.
You know, but to be a part of that team was super
Everything.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I
everything.
like Team Oyama
Right.
so much. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? To be a part of that team, even though like I'm not a champion and I've only got a few PKBs, this and that, but like being around that, it kind of like elevates me a little bit. And I've
Yeah,
always
for
done
sure.
well with like a brotherhood or a team.
Yeah.
You know, and
Something to look forward to, and
oh, dude, yeah.
and to be supported and to support too. That's just as important.
100%.
To support everybody.
Yeah, so like at that hotel, that nice Embassy Suites hotel, they brung me in there, Angel, and they started to like interview me, sort of like this right here, and it was like kind of scripted a little bit. Like it was a little weird. It wasn't like an open dialogue. Like you didn't feel free and comfortable like you do here.
Right.
You know. And I would answer the questions and stuff, and they asked me, they're like, well, how did you get started in this? You know, you come from a great family, except for your mom's side of the family, which is like drugs, you know, criminals, this and that. But now my 4 uncles, they're doing pretty well. But back when they were younger, not so good.
Yeah.
You know, but now they're great. They're doing a lot better as they're older and stuff. And all my cousins, they're getting to be a little better, but some they'll probably never make it, brother.
Yeah.
You know, and I love them. It's my family, it's my blood, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll still show up and say hi, I love you, cousin.
Yeah.
You know, but I ain't going out with you. You know.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you could do.
You know, and it's kind of tough, but it is what it is, man. And that interview was real strange, you know, and we're talking about all that and how I got started, dude. And I was in 8th grade, and I really wanted to, like, one of my dreams at that time was to represent my country in the games, whether it was for boxing or wrestling.
Yeah.
You know. So I was in 8th grade, and I was going to try to qualify in Oak Glen, Ohio at a qualifying tournament so I could get seated as a freshman. So I'd have a freshman ranking.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully win a state title and go into nationals. And I had big dreams with it, you know. And I broke my arm and had a couple surgeries on it, bro. And fucked my arm all up.
In a match.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, we drove back, went to the hospital, and had to have 2 reconstructive surgeries on my elbow. You know, still today, it's not. So even my jab, I got to be like, I got to get in there, dude. You know. But
I've gotten hit with them a couple times.
well, we've had those hard rounds, and after what, we give each other a hug.
Yeah.
Hell of a
for
round,
sure.
brother. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's what it is. It's just love all the way around, dude.
Yeah, man.
And
That surgery, I mean, you were obviously not competing for a prolonged period of time, right? Which
yeah.
you were kind of very invested into what you were doing with competition.
dude, like, let me tell you, like, okay, there's like, I think there's levels of like pain, misery, and hopelessness that I've experienced. Okay, and I thought that this was like the end of my life, right? And I would lay in my bed, I would cry, I couldn't be a part of the team anymore, and I was like, how would you say, basically devolving as a person. I thought.
Yeah. It's also you're young enough that you didn't have the tools to be able to
Not
cope
at
with
all,
like.
dude. I think I was like 13, bro.
Yeah.
14 years old. Okay, yeah. 14. I was 14, dude. And I seen all my friends, they were going to wrestling practice. You know, then all the boys down at Charleston Rec, they had fights, they had this, and I had a cast, you know, and my God, it would hurt so bad, and I'd have to go to PT, and it would be unbelievably painful, dude. So the doctor says, and I still remember, I won't say his name on live or whatever, but I remember bump, you know, like Sturgill D. Jones. I remember his name because it's like such a big part of my life, and I don't think even he knew like what he was doing really, because at the time, you know, oxy and pain medication was so
New.
like, yeah, well, it wasn't new. It's just nobody really knew.
Yeah, nobody
like,
knew.
long-term effects of it, you know, to put a 14-year-old kid on high-powered opiates like that, you know. But let me tell you, brother, they worked. It did its job. Like, they do exactly what they're intended to do, kill pain.
Right.
I could take a painkiller, dude, and do a full workout with a half-broken arm and not think nothing about it, you know. And then eventually one, it's not enough. Then you got to get more from the doctor. I need to take 2 now, and then 4, and then 6, 8, and then okay, now we can't do that much of this because it's got Tylenol or whatever the hell. And so we'll go into this extended release version. You only take 2 of these because it's a more powerful opiate but less Tylenol. And you get into like Oxycontin and stuff like that as a teenager. So by the time I graduated high school, bro, without even knowing it, I was like fully addicted to like Oxycontin.
Yeah.
Like fully addicted, and I don't even, and it's not the doctor's fault or really even my fault for taking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that's a really strange situation because it's like it's not environmental. You didn't do anything. You had a sports injury,
Right?
and
dude.
then, you know, of course the doctors didn't intend for it. I guess it's just a really, it's a series of
It's like a fucked up thing, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think like that doctor meant anything ill by it. What he seen though was that the medication worked, and I got back to sport.
You're right.
I got back to doing the things I could do as long as I had those.
Yeah.
You know? And then I remember a devastating day. It's like, well, you know, you're out of PT. We can't give you these anymore. Now we're going to have to wean you off. And I remember the first thought. I said, oh, no. Like, you become so accustomed to, like, it's a part of your life now.
Yeah. Part the feeling, but part the action
exactly,
too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, you
action.
feel it and you feel good. And you know that's what makes you feel good. But you don't, maybe other people do, but I think I was a little ignorant to it. I didn't necessarily realize that I was addicted to it per se.
Right.
But I knew it made me feel really good, and I loved the way that it made me feel. Right? And then they took it away from me, and then I experienced it for the first time in my life. The phenomenon of craving. You know, that craving that's like uncontrollable. Like, instead of taking 4 today, you're only going to take 2.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. You know? And that's why I said that, like, there's like, you think there's lows, and then it gets lower. Like, I thought my life would end after that broken arm. But I got back. And then I thought, oh my God, my life's going to end because of, now I got to take 2 pills. And then, oh my God, now I don't have any.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you go through that, and then there's like an actual withdrawal from it, dude. And you're like physically, like sicker than you've ever been sick before. Like COVID sick on steroids, dude.
Right.
You know?
And then it was that too that it happened when you were developing too. Like you weren't.
I was a teenager, bro.
You weren't a 30-year-old adult, or so you're like the effect it had on your hormones as you were developing, and like that had to intensify the dependency on it.
Absolutely, dude. Without a doubt, man. It was just tough, man, all around. And then once you're out and that craving kicks, dude. I remember I had like a little part-time job at that KFC. I used to sleep. Turned out years later I would be sleeping underneath that bridge with the fish and the rat.
Fucking Colonel.
Dude,
it's the fucking Colonel, bro.
Chicken, dude. It was crazy, dude. Like, I never figured myself to sleep under that damn bridge.
Yeah.
You know? But years later, I'd be right underneath that bridge. You know? And never know it. You know, I didn't plan that for myself.
Right.
You know? But, yeah, buddy there said he could get me some. And I said, well, what do you mean, buddy?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I can get you some of those pain pills. It's not going to be pain pills. I was like, well, what is it? You know, I need the pain pills, brother.
Yeah.
He was like, it's heroin. And I was like, what? You crazy? You crazy? He was like, it's just like the pain pills. So I got on my little Galaxy phone, you know, I had. And I was looking it up. Sure enough, it's like the same. I was like, dang. I said, okay, well, give me the heroin, I guess.
Yeah.
Exact same feeling almost. Oxycodone and heroin is the same feel, and it even tastes kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So that was like what sparked it all, and I explained that during that interview, and they were like, holy shit, you know. So whenever I say I was like a product of the opiate epidemic in the United States, it's 100% true. Like, that's exactly, and you hear so many stories. Like, I've talked to people because of that episode all over the world, Angel. Thousands of people reach out to me on Facebook and say, brother, my sister, my uncle, my dad, myself.
Yeah.
that's how it happened. I hurt myself playing soccer. I had a fishing accident, fell off a boat and broke my hip.
Yeah.
I've heard countless stories where people like that in the early 2000s got hurt.
For people that don't necessarily, the same story, like it was not a background thing or a cultural thing.
No, not at all. So like, even from being like street life in East LA, or mountain culture in poor West Virginia with that stuff, it's the same thing. It affects all people, and I've heard from all over, even people from Germany and China, all kinds of different stories like that, dude. And I figured, man, well, this is like later on, but I figured, okay, there's a community, there's like a network of people out there with the same struggles, and we could all bind through.
Yeah, this might be a value at some point. Yeah,
dude. Through that common peril, you could kind of form like some type of an identification with these other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that past and all that crazy stuff and shit you did will be able to help somebody eventually. And I know a lot of people get that avenue through like music or athletics or whatever it is. It's just kind of like my avenue that I've been blessed with,
that you found somehow.
Dude. Yeah.
And so that, of course, your family, your parents, and everybody was in on the show coming.
Oh yeah.
They knew that it was happening.
I got blessed with going to one of the best young men's programs in the United States. And it was free.
How long from when you got off and that happened and you were guided poorly by not the best of people? How long was that time from where you transferred over to a real street drug to the show happening?
So the first time I ever did it was like, okay, so I can pinpoint it exactly, dude. We took it down now, but there used to be a picture in my family home, man. And it was Christmas pictures of 2011. Okay? So I was still in high school doing the oxys and the heroin that my buddy had given me from the KFC.
Yeah.
From 2011 to like 2016. 2015, 2016 were like, those are the lowest. But from that time till I was like 23, I was out and about doing God knows what, man.
Yeah. Street life.
It's street life, dude, 100%. Just anything I could do to get by. And then the intervention people happened and stuff. And after that interview, like a day or two later, they took me. I woke up and I noticed, I was like, nobody's at my house. And then they were there. I was like, yo, where's my mom and dad, Where's everybody at?
So you said that's like probably 2016?
This is 2016.
How old are you at this point?
Yeah, I'm 23.
23, gotcha.
And this is like the end of the line, And I woke up and those intervention people were there with the van. And they said, yeah, we're going to take you to the methadone clinic today. Is that cool with you? And I was like, yeah, after that, can we make a pit stop? I got to get some crack and Xannies, honestly, and a pint of liquor at Rite Aid. And they were like, yeah, no problem. But we got to make a pit stop too. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, tis for tat, no problem. Let's just get this going.
Yeah.
And they did, and we didn't stop. They said they wanted to make their stop first, and I was like, all right, no problem. And it was at that same Embassy Suites. They said they got to do another interview before they leave.
Yeah.
And I said, cool, perfect. Let's get y'all the hell out of here. I'm done with this. This is crazy. Y'all aggravating the hell out of me.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you guys to leave.
I've been waiting for y'all to leave, but I appreciate the ride, though. It saved me like $5 in gas, which is like a lot of money to me at the time. And sure enough, we walked into that place, man. Lights, camera, action, everything. And my mom, my dad, my granny, my uncle, my sister. Everybody was there, man. And
producers, everybody.
Yeah, everybody. The camera, it looked like this, dude. It looked like, you see those right there? All the lights and stuff. They had everything set out, dude. And then they're like, I met Sylvia Parsons, my interventionist. Such a sweet lady from Charlotte, And at the time I was like, she's a fucking bitch.
Sweetest soul, one of the sweetest souls on the planet.
She was, man. She was sweet as hell. She didn't deserve that. And I sit down, man, and they they're like, all right, we're going to read a bunch of letters that your family had wrote. And I was like, oh no, because like truly I love my family.
Right.
I do. They're near and dear to my heart. I love them to death, man. And I said, okay, I don't want to disappoint my family because they're letting me live with them right now. You know.
So let me just do this.
And my pops has got me out on bond, so he can kind of revoke my bond anytime he wants. I have to go back to jail, and I was like, I can't go back to jail. I gotta smoke crack and stuff. So they started reading these letters, man, and I don't know, Angel, something came over me, man, and I started like tear up, which I haven't done in years, like a long time.
Yeah.
I started to tear up, bro, and just listening to all this stuff. And then my sister was like, remember when we used to play cops and robbers on our bikes? And I just want my brother back. And my granny and my uncle, same thing. Remember this? And we just want you back to be a part of the family. Oh, my God, I lost it on national television. Just broke down and cried like a little girl, dude. You know, I was like, oh, no. And then they were like, do you want to come to California with us to Pace Recovery Center? And I was like, what? I was like, California? And they were like, or, you know, we'll revoke your bond, you go back to jail. And I was like, okay, I'll go to California, you know.
California or jail.
Yeah, that's what it was. They're like, suspended license. We'll revoke your bond. You got a suspended license. We know where you have to go every day, that methadone clinic. So I was like, dang, y'all really got me, don't you? Y'all really got me. And at that time, I knew, like, the jig was up. There's nothing I could do except surrender. And like I was saying a little bit before, like, you think your life's over, you know, because you break your arm. Now you're running out of pills. Now this, now this, now this. And then your cousin goes to prison. And one's murdered. And then man. And you're like, oh, my God, this might be my ticket, is what I thought. This might be my shot. I know I'm going to have to suffer. It's going to be bad. But if I can get through the pain and the suffering and misery, maybe I could, you know, do something.
Right.
Whatever something is, I don't know.
We'll figure it out when we get through this part.
We'll figure it out. But maybe if I could get there and do whatever, I might have a shot at figuring it out. And I said, yeah, man. They put me on a plane, shipped me out to here, went to detox, which was, I'm talking about hellacious. Detox was awful, bro.
What did that consist of? Was it, well, obviously it starts with sobriety.
Yeah, bro, June 16th, 2016. I woke up for the first time knowing that I wasn't going to be able to drink, wasn't going to be able to do anything in a place that I had never been in before, in a random house full of random people that I didn't know, and this old lady telling me everything's going to be all right. I know you feel like shit right now, but it's going to be okay. I was like, you sure? You sure? It don't feel okay. I don't feel okay at all. This is insanity what you guys are doing, you know? Sure enough, man, I stayed there for a couple weeks. In the last couple of days there, I started to feel a little better. Yeah. About day 14, day 15, I started to feel like maybe the fog was lifting. And I started to read again and started to like enjoy movies and then enjoy listening to music, you know what I mean?
Simple things.
Simple shit, dude, that I took for granted for years, dude. Like how cool like Spotify was, you know? And I was like, okay, even though I had to listen to the ads and shit, you know, but just turning on random music or watching a random movie and actually laughing a little bit at movies, you know, stuff I ain't did in years, bro. And then they put me this place called Pace, and that's where I really learned like tools and things to like live and coping skills, and met a community of people. And I still got friends there. I've been sober for about 9 years now, a little over 9 years, and I still talk to a few of them that I graduated that program with.
Congratulations, man.
You know, it's so cool, man. And like I said, through that common peril, through that struggle, man, we just kind of formed a bond I think will last a lifetime. I'm going, one of those dudes, his name's Will, he's in Kansas City. Me and some other sober guys are flying out there to his wedding. Oh, we went to that treatment center together in the same boat.
Badass.
Walking in day one, like, I'm Sturgill. Like, I'm Will. Okay. You know?
Yeah. Now, skeletons of yourself.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, it was crazy, dude. You should have seen me back in those days. I had this big long beard, these crazy glasses, dude. I'll show you on here, I think, if I can find it. But it was super cool coming from like West Virginia kind of culture than growing up in that. And now, oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
You're gonna have to throw that on an overlay. We'll put it up
Oh
in the
yeah,
episode.
whatever you need, man.
Yeah.
But it was wild, man.
What were some of the tools that they taught you there to deal with like triggers and?
Bro, this is the thing about, like, there's the classic, like, Ashley or excuse me, Hazelton model for addiction, you know, and it's used all over the country. It's the best.
Right.
You know, there's other models too, but usually everyone's built off of that model, and it's good. You know, they say play the tape through, make a relapse prevention plan, build a network of friends, things like that. But for me, as crazy as it sounds, being from where I'm from, you know, the spiritual side of things really kind of helped me develop.
Right.
You know, like my dependence and belief on God, you know, kind of helped me through those struggles and stuff. And I think, like, all those years, you know, my arm and all this and running out of pills and then cousins going to jail and all the stuff. You know, I was like, God's cursed us for sure, you know, and I never really sought after that.
Yeah.
But after I learned, you know, that I kind of figured I turned my back on the idea of God rather than God turning his back on me. Once I kind of come to terms with that, I felt like it was okay to, like, seek for a higher power, you know, that there's got to be something bigger and greater out there than myself that's going to help restore me to sanity to live a better life. And that's, I liked what you said, morality earlier, you know, and kind of form your own sense of morality as a man and who you want to be in life, you know.
And was that something they encouraged, or did
they
you
did.
Okay.
They did encourage it for sure.
Was that also something that you guys grew up with to a degree?
Oh yeah. Fire and brimstone kind of a deal, like extreme.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like,
maybe a little bit too extreme.
Well, maybe a little too extreme.
Yeah.
You know, like, I remember as a kid, I was like, man, am I going to hell? I don't want to. You know, like, it was scary.
Yeah.
Like, my grandma was like, she's like, you're going to hell. You know. But yeah, I kind of leaned into that more so. And then there's a great line, man, and it's like the cornerstone of what I think can truly make or break someone. It's self-searching, leveling of pride, confess shortcomings. You know.
Can I hear that one more time?
Self-search, confess, self-search, level pride, confess shortcomings. So basically, what it means for me is I have to look internally. Okay?
Right.
I have to look internally where my defects, where my shortcomings, where all my bullshit is.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have to level my pride enough to get to the truth about that, right? And then talk about it.
Right.
Openly with other people that have that identification with me, you know, that struggle as well. And in doing so, you know, you can continue to help other people as an avocation, as a hobby.
Kind of take away some of the power that it has over you too,
Absolutely,
right?
bro. Absolutely. You'll learn to laugh. You'll learn to laugh at it rather than cry about it.
Right,
you
right.
know? And if you can get someone else to do the same in their experience and share that with other people for fun and for free, dude, then that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And that will grant you, like, this new life that's been, I may not have a yacht or Ferrari, none of that shit, you know. But I tell you what, I've been able to be a little bit happy.
Yeah.
I've had successful friendships and a 6-year girlfriend, which has been, I've never had that before.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm able to meet cool people like you and be around world champions at Team Oyama. And
You've competed?
I've competed.
Which was something that was taken from
at
you.
30 years old,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, which I'm sure that, well, as a kid, you thought, oh, I'll never get back there.
Never.
I'll never make it back there. That's
Never,
just
dude.
gone for me, and now you've been able to find your way back to it.
Dude, yeah, 100%, man. And dude, I've met insane people. Like, I thought I had, like, a wild kind of a story, you know, and brother, there's people out there that you'd be like, yo, you should be in the insane asylum. This guy is no shot. Okay? And they are successful, happy, married with kids, and they've achieved, you know. So those are some of the people that I look up to nowadays, you know what I mean, rather than, like, the quintessential Elon Musk or whoever you're, you know, whoever it is, maybe.
Right, yeah.
Those are the people that I'm trying to hear from more so, you know, guys that came from nothing You know, that had that internal struggle, those battles, and turn
Yeah.
their lives around and make something of it and be brave enough to try.
Right. Guys who came from nothing, made it worse, and then still made
Right.
it all the way
It's
up
the
here.
quote unquote phoenix rising from the ashes.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Those kind of stories is crazy. That's what I was saying earlier, man. Like, doing all this, dude, some people just think about doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming from East LA to trying to do all this and pursuing your dreams and all that stuff, people just think about doing it. They don't really act upon doing it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
You're one of those people.
There's no way I wouldn't have been able to not do this and, you know, and miss out on stories like yours, like this, like
Yeah.
today, bro. Like, imagine like, it's a crime. It's like a crime to the world for however many people are gonna listen to this episode. Like, for this story not to be heard, like, bro, it's how, you know, that's
Yeah, man.
where that's this will help people. This will help. This will help one person, bro, and that's a
I'm hoping so.
that's the
you
biggest
know,
win. That's a huge win right there, just in itself, bro.
Yeah, that's my goal. If I can share my story and talk and hang out and somebody's digging it,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Yeah, and
brother,
we're just
you know
making
what I
another
mean?
good memory along the
Oh yeah,
along the
man,
way.
and
Is it hard to accept the fact that you needed to go through all those things to be where you're at today?
my dad asked me that. My dad asked me that actually, bro. He thought so. We were sitting on the couch, and I got my son running around and stuff, and it's so cool, dude.
Making everybody laugh.
So
probably,
cool,
yeah.
man. He's crazy as hell,
Being
dude.
crazy.
He got a little bit of me in him, you know. And so we're all hanging out and stuff. And my dad asked me something like that. He goes, "Son, I want you to know it's okay that you didn't waste any time in your life." And I thought to myself, I was like, he thinks that I wasted time with that drug addiction, and you know, I got sober at 23 and come out here and all that, and I might have wasted some times that I could have spent in college or getting a degree
Yeah.
or doing X, Y, or Z, whatever it
Right.
may be, you know. And I told him, I was like, without those experiences, Dad, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I'd probably be somebody completely different. So I thank God that I had every one of those experiences, whether they're good or bad,
Yeah.
in my life that led me here, sitting in this chair, hanging out with you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Does that kind of answer the question a
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah, for
like,
sure. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard for people to accept the trauma and the pain and the
Dude.
suffering, and you know, I think it's you know, it's unfortunate because it's more, it's like another level of the pain. Like,
Dude.
you go through these things and then now you still haven't been able to resolve it, and I just wonder, because it seems like you've really resolved it. And people, you know, I know a lot of people that I know, a lot of family and friends that haven't resolved some of the things that they experienced as kids and as teenagers.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you know, if you go through something traumatic, you know, I mean, it sucks. It's going to suck. You're going to feel that, whether it's whatever it is for whatever individual. In my case, it was pain and misery brought on by drug addiction, and at the end of the day, you know, I chose to make those decisions, brother.
Right.
That was me as a man. I chose that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's the argument that they don't choose. I'm telling you right now, I chose to take the heroin from that guy at KFC.
Yeah.
I chose to continue to take the medication and abuse that medication as well, you know, and to come to grips with I might have lost some time. Yeah, I used to battle with it, you know, and what helped me get over that, man, is that fearless searching of yourself, that leveling of your pride, exercising maybe a little bit of humility, you know, and prayer and meditation,
Yeah.
long talk with God, you know, kind of help navigate those waters. Because whenever you start to feel like ate up with that trauma or your past, it's going to feel bad, man.
yeah,
But the worse
regret
that you
and
feel,
shame.
like, for a person like me, the worse that I feel, the more that I go down the road of shame, guilt, self-pity, all those negative emotions,
Yeah.
the more useless I am to other people. And that's exactly the way I felt when I was using drugs and drinking.
Right.
Was completely useless, and I don't want to ever go back to that anymore. So I recognize the pain and the guilt. I discuss it with another person at once. I pray about it, and then I just try to share my story and help other people, you know.
And let it go back to where
and let it go back, you know, like.
And then it still comes back at certain points.
Oh, bro, it's an ongoing thing. Like it's not just going to disappear from your life. Like it's a part of like who I am as a man.
Right. So if how it strengthens you, it comes with a cost too.
It does.
But it just takes that ability to level with it and be okay with it.
For sure. They say, I was in the ROTC in the high school for the Marine Corps, and they say in different scenarios or whatever that you have to overcome, improvise, or adapt. You know what I mean? And for me, I've had to do all three. I've had to overcome struggles. I've had to improvise and go down different paths and avenues to discover who I really am, and then adapt to that.
Yeah.
You know, to adapt to, you know, this is my life and this is what it is now, and I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't trade my life now for any of the life I had prior to 2016.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't.
No, man.
You can't. That's like just hearing a story like that and knowing like, bro, like that's a battle a lot of people that are going to listen to this have, whether it's drugs or trauma or whatever the case may be. And just knowing like, bro, this is really life. Like this is really life. Like it's unlimited. It's endlessly complicated in every level, like emotionally, like your past, your future, your dreams, like your day-to-day life, your job, everything. But yet somehow there's still like this, when you search for it and you try to earn it, there's this peace and there's this faith, this conviction that it doesn't come for free. You gotta earn it, but there's something out there that's operating through us, that's positioning us to be able to execute his plan.
Absolutely,
his
dude.
plan, and we're just kind of like, we're just functions in a way. Like we do this part, and then something else happens.
For sure.
And then we go and we do our other part, and then something else happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and you never know what's going to happen at the end of the day.
You never know what's going to happen. Bro.
You know, I always think about like, it's the old thing like, I don't like God because I prayed for a Ferrari and the Ferrari ain't in my. It's like, well, you know, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the work. You know, so I don't really pray for my own selfish ends anymore. I just pray for the knowledge and power to carry out God's will.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of led me down. That was another kind of discovery that I made in the sobriety deal, man. Is that praying for my own selfish, endless means never really got me anywhere except for in jail in a rehab center.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, to pray for the wisdom to know the difference kind of a deal. Pray for the knowledge of God's will and the power to carry that out kind of a deal kind of really inspired me and helped me, like, navigate my sobriety and life in general.
And
you know
kind
what
of
I
slow
mean?
things down a little bit too,
man,
right?
100%.
Because as soon as we get ahead of ourselves, like, how am I gonna do? I gotta do this for the rest of my life. You know, like I gotta do this and that. Like once you speed things up, that's when you really get overwhelmed too.
100%, dude. Like I remember, there's been times like, is this it? You know, with my life, is this it? And then another avenue or a door opens, and I experience a whole new thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it can be as minute as, you know, getting a job promotion.
Right. Yeah.
You know, getting a little couple dollar raise or whatever.
Right.
You know,
having a little fight, having a
PKB for Timo. You know, just different experiences. You know, that I'll keep with me forever. You know, and then my son, man, having my son was a huge factor too. I just really wanted to be like my dad to him.
Right.
You know, try to raise him right and do right. And I couldn't imagine, you know, my son growing up and thinking that his dad, you know, was never there because of the bottle.
Right.
You know, because his alcohol or whatever the hell
because the preacher's
be.
drinking again.
Because the preacher's drinking again. You know what I mean? And I can't sit here and drink and abuse this and that and carry out like a good life. I've tried. Can't do it. It's impossible, and I would never be able to be as like hardworking or disciplined or whatever it is that I am.
Right.
You know what I mean, with all that. So it's just I just come to grips with like, this is who I am. I'll never be able to do that, and that's
and it's
that's
fine
okay.
Too. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
all right, bro.
Absolutely.
You know, and
especially because you know the other side too, and you'll never you have that peace and that comfort within yourself to be like, well, this is what works for me, but it doesn't change. Like if you if you want to do that and still you can lead a good life and be productive within your family, your society, then more power to you.
For sure. And this is how crazy it is, bro. At one point in time in my life, I could not fathom or imagine my life without like drugs or alcohol. I couldn't do it. Right? Now I have friends that drink and smoke. I'll go to the bar with them and shoot pool and eat chicken wings and drink seltzer water or a Red Bull and hang out and not be tempted by any of that.
Not even the slightest.
I think that's like the whole miracle from like the conception of God. God's given me that, I think.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really do, man. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Be able to laugh and still talk shit
bro,
and roast some, roast somebody
and then
else.
I'm driving home, bro. I started driving, dude. It's like, all right, you gotta go to fucking bed. Go to bed. You know what I mean? But it's just how it is now, man. And that's cool, dude. And I would have never really thought as a teenager, growing up in West Virginia, in a small town. There's like 1,000 people in that town, man, called Sissonville. Coming out here, there's millions of people out here, man. Completely different, dude. Like, I grew up hunting with dogs, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'd be tracking animals through the woods in the middle of the night, hunting with dogs. All hours of the night. We used to hunt raccoons. And we'd sell their furs and stuff in high school to make extra money and crazy shit.
Trappers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my papa.
Real trapping, not this rap shit that people are talking about. Real trapping.
Setting up the traps down by the riverbank to catch minks and muskrat and beaver and stuff. And then at nighttime, you train your dogs, you let your dogs go, and it's hard to tell where you'll end up with them damn dogs because you got to be in shape.
Right.
You trap the Appalachian Mountains with them dogs, with a rifle on your back and a machete because you're going to have to use that machete to cut the brush. It's like the Adrain Valley in Vietnam up there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see in front of your face. Then you got a big coal miner's hat on, dude, running through the woods and stuff coming from all that to out here. I mean, I always make the joke to my buddy Chris whenever I'm talking to him. I'm like, I'll bring you out to California. We'll go to Mile Square Park and shoot some coyotes. They'll have us in prison. Yeah.
And then treating West Virginia, treating it like
we're getting the coyotes out of here, Because he's asking, he's like, so what's the hunting like out there, bub? Everybody calls me Bub back home, and like, Bub, what's hunting out there like? I'm like, well, there is none. They're like, what?
Ain't much.
What do you mean? I'm like, you ever looked at a map, buddy? They're like, well, I never thought about it like that.
Big city.
Yeah.
Even though it's not the big city, about 45 minutes up the 5, but yeah, it's big city like.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
That's
it's more fishing out here, though.
Yeah.
Good fishing out here, A couple of buddies of mine just went out on a charter, caught some bluefin tuna.
Hell yeah.
Man, we took that to the house, man. Whipped that up. Damn, talking about good.
Fresh.
You talking about
Fresh,
good. It was good. It was good as hell. Yeah, man. And I'm not like a big fish guy, but
under those circumstances, how could you not be?
You're going to eat the tuna.
Like straight from the Lord, right?
Straight from the motherland, dude. Right out by Catalina.
Yeah.
You're going to eat that tuna.
Pacific coast, baby.
Mm-hmm. Man, and then coming out here, I learned how to surf out here a little bit too. Just different activities that people out here try to do, and even skateboarded a little bit when I was younger. So I went to some of the Volcom skate park, Van skate park, just trying to get into some new stuff.
Yeah.
And
stay busy.
Yeah, venture
stay productive.
out. I ain't good at it.
Yeah.
I'll be out there with all the surfers and shit, and I'll be like, "Hey, bud, how you doing?" They're like, "Yeah, what are you doing out here?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to catch some waves, brother." They're like, "Okay." They'll see me fall. They'll be like, I'm like, "Let me get this one." They're like, "You're gonna fall." I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just trying to live good out here and experience all I can out here,
Yeah.
Because eventually one day I'm gonna have to move back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back, or some way or fashion. My son's getting older.
Yeah.
My sister's got 2 kids, and there comes a point where I feel like I want to be, part of the a bigger part of the family than just going back a few times a year. And stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, which is understandable. It's understandable.
Like, all your family's out here, right?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, it's split a little bit around California, but yeah, we're all here.
So you grew up all your life in East LA?
Yeah, and then I moved here at 19
Oh, okay.
to Orange County, like a little bit near here, back by the old Vans, by the Van skate park right there.
In Honey?
No, Outlet of Orange.
Oh,
They used
the
to have
Outlet of Orange, the
yeah,
big one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I moved near there at 19. So,
Nice.
yeah.
What do you say the biggest takeaway from living in East LA to like here is, like Orange County?
Well, I for sure got away from the direct, like the always being in the line of fire, like always being, you know, I was always, my life was essentially always on the line. Like every day, every time I stepped out of the house, where if I went here with my friends, we were just always targeted, and it was
Like rival gangs and like there's different like
yeah, for sure,
turfs. I don't know about that
yeah,
shit.
no,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was that for sure. And then like automatically, if you grew up somewhere, you're just guilty by association, guilty by
just because you're from
location.
That.
Yeah, for sure. So automatically, and then if your family's involved, people are gonna know, and then you get identified, and then you go to high school or middle school, and all the rivals are there. So like word gets
like
around.
their kids as kids and cousins and the rivals
and then
that
the
are
kids,
outside.
Yeah, and then there's kids that are already fully involved, and even if I wasn't never fully involved, but I was guilty by association. Oh, we know how he looks now.
Right.
So now it just kept going and going for years and years and.
Okay, so that even going to school is kind of like, so where I'm from, like if you go to jail,
Yeah.
right, then I mean, I gotta stick with the white people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like guilty by, like, if I went and tried to play cards, you know, at the black table, that's a no go.
Yeah.
You know, just by like I don't even know these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so it's all, but just within Mexicans, like one, so it's just different gangs, because East LA's 99.9% Mexicans.
I see.
So so it's just the different little neighborhoods, little sets of blocks, and they take their name, they adopt it, and then it just becomes a bigger thing.
And there's there's their own culture that comes from that too, huh?
Yeah, in a way, like everybody has their colors and their names and the whole like cliques, which is like the smaller groups within the big gang. Like,
I see.
So they're separate and within the one gang, and it's like just it's like a whole culture, a whole hierarchy, and then.
Damn, buddy, there's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep track of it, or you get, something happens to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. So once I got over here, I knew like, oh, I'm chill, I'm good. But I always go back home though. I go back home. I go hang out with my friends. We barbecue. We go out and have some drinks. Mm-hmm. I go to the park where I grew up at and talk, whatever it is, eat, cook, make some seafood, whatever it is, and we hang out. And I still keep in contact with everybody. So that would be the biggest difference. But I didn't know it was what we said earlier. Like I didn't know this would lead to that, and then that led to this, and then and then now I'm here, 12 years later. So I've lived in Orange County for 12 years. So it's been a long road.
Like every time I go back home, man, I always go. My granny kind of she kind of runs that side of the family, like what's going to go on, what's allowed, things, with this and that. You know what I mean? It's my grandma actually. She's 70-some years old, but make no mistake. You go against Granny.
You're gonna find out today. Huh?
One of us you're gonna find out, brother. Whether it's you owe money or you did this to this person or whatever. You're gonna talk to Granny off Route 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll still go over there and hang out.
Yeah.
For a little bit. And I'll take my son over there. We stay for about an hour. About it. I want him to know his grandmother and all that stuff. But they're in the back. They're playing cards.
Hell yeah.
They got the card game going. They got people coming in and out of there all the time. Selling prescription medications and God knows what else. The whole house smells like, well, it's a trailer, and it smells like fucking weed.
Yeah.
And there's always a big trash can of beer bottles out back. So I I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't take him off, but I just it's my family, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's my family. It is what it is. I ain't like involved in none of it anymore or whatever. But I see a couple of my cousins. You know, they're my one cousin that went to prison. His name's Josh. He'll never see the light of day again. And his son, AJ, he's gonna be right just like his daddy. I try to help him and stuff. He just
it's hard.
Want it, you know. It's hard to see him. And
it's just you can't do anything that for anybody that's not gonna want to do it for themselves. You can
tell somebody that shit. My dad, mom, they try to tell me shit growing up.
Over and
You're
over.
You're growing up, Dad, or is that what you want? I'm like, you're fucking crazy. You know, trying to tell me right. But it wasn't until I experienced it.
Yeah.
I kind of look back on it and was like, damn, they were right. You know. And they were absolutely right, bro.
Well, then I guess the more value in that too is that you get like your son, you really know like what, like like bro, like you get to teach him now like how important he is to you, and how good you want him to do that. Like by the time they get to make those decisions, like they have so much trust in you that you know, like it's.
And me and my son, we're it's tough, man. It's tough, you know. I got him an Xbox. He's playing we played together Minecraft.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll be on there playing with him and stuff. And I gotta remember, you know, it's like I want to be his friend, but also want to be his dad too. You know, it's that kind of balancing act and in things. And just trying to navigate that now is. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy coming from the F Street Bridge to, how am I going to be a better dad, you know? And I remember that getting an Xbox when I was a kid, and now him getting one, and I took him to his first wrestling practice and stuff. And stuff. Yeah, he thought he was John Cena, man. he wasn't wrestling. He was John Cena. So
he thought it was scripted.
He was flying with the elbows and shit. I was like, dude, this ain't Muay Thai. But I mean, you know, just shit like that, man. And to think that where I was to that right now is
incredible.
I couldn't even imagine it, man. You know, so it's funny what 5-10 years will do to you, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you have that faith and you try to just take that risk, that attempt to be like, all right, I have nothing to lose. Essentially, let me try to do a little bit better, and we'll see where it goes from here.
See where it goes, man. And I think that's
it'll go.
That's the story of my life, man. I just been kind of just like, all right, let me try this and hope it works out, and tried my best at it. And I mean, there's been a lot of successes, been a lot of failures too. But I think the failures too, if you're not down to fail, like it's scary. But at the end of the day, if you don't, then you won't learn anything from it. You know what I mean? And going through that sort of like the trauma and all that stuff, I think the more that you fail, as long as you're learning a lesson from it, can be beneficial to you.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I like attempting creative things and putting myself out there and putting myself on camera. It never really like bothered me or like I wasn't ever really too worried about it. Just because like, well, I'm just, the worst thing that could happen is that I win internally, bro.
For sure.
Like that's the worst 100%. Thing.
Well, I mean, at least you come out a better person. And have that lived experience. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Episodes like this, bro. Like where like these are like wealths of knowledge, bro, that I just get, you know, essentially for free, bro. Like I'm just sitting here and I'm learning and I'm thinking like how do I apply this to my life and like where am I, you know, like how can I change how I'm thinking and really, you know, continue improving and just being present with everybody, you know, just being here and just being grateful for the guests that come on and share their story, bro. Like there's no, bro, like we got, for everything we've been through, bro, like there's so much, it's like, we're kind of primed, bro. We're ready, like we're essentially like prepared for anything, like all the, whatever's the next venture that we want to attempt at, bro. Like we got a good tool, we got a toolbox, we got a good skill set, we got like, you know, we got a network of people that can help us, bro. Like it's, man, there's a lot of, I really believe there's a lot of potential for everybody, bro, and like especially that there were like,
Yeah.
you know, like the people near us, bro, like at the gym, and the people that I know make music, and even my friends from LA, like, man, there's still a lot of potential, bro. There's still a lot of things
and
that
from
can
what
happen.
I gather, dude, from the music game, I mean, you got to take inspiration from East LA in the music, right?
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure,
I mean,
for sure.
I mean, that's just second nature, right?
Yeah,
That's what I would
yeah,
think. I
for
don't
sure.
know. Like for me,
Yeah.
it'd be like the band, you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
folk
no,
kind of
there's
stuff.
East LA has a huge culture there, like lowrider culture, and the whole like the candy paint lowrider, like that is all originated in East LA.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
street gangs originated in East LA. Like,
69 Impala with the candy paint
yes,
drop
sir.
top, you know what I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about?
All of it, yeah, all day, all
Damn,
day,
son.
yeah, yeah. Like there was Mexican street gangs before the Bloods and the Crips. Like
Yeah.
it was all. LA is super dense in culture, specifically East LA. But yeah, like there's a especially in rap, there's nobody's really done it. We don't have a staple. We don't have a Kendrick Lamar that's really like, oh, he represented for the city.
Everybody
So,
knows where Kendrick Lamar and Compton goes
Yeah,
hand in
yeah.
hand, like Snoop Dogg and Long Beach. People
right,
know
right,
that.
yeah, for sure. So we got our work cut out for us, but
Something's got to come out of East
yeah,
LA,
yeah,
dude.
100%, 100%,
I
100%.
feel you, man. Angel from East LA, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout out my boy Adrian State. Shout out Aki too. See, we're waiting for you, boy. We're waiting for you. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's I love where I'm from, but I love where I'm going too. I love where I'm going, and
yeah.
I'm
Like you think going from here?
yeah,
you know?
yeah, bro. And I'm passionate about, like, I want people to get pumped up, bro. I want people to be inspired. I want people to make moves and fucking roll. Let's roll the dice, like let's take let's put some bets down, and let's make something happen, bro. Because there's
Biggest gamble of my life was coming out here, bro, with
Right,
that $25.
crazy.
You know?
How did you get? You know where those $25 are from?
Man, I spent them on like Cheetos and a couple of Kit Kats and shit at the store, dude.
Hell yeah.
That lady would walk us to the store and let us use our money. I was like, all right, man, I need some candy and some cigarettes.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, man, it's been a hell of a ride out here, and California is good. My next venture, man's it's a complete pivot from what I'm doing right now, man. Working for the government.
Yeah.
Dangerous ass job, dangerous as hell. But I think
you'll fit right in.
I think I'll do. I think I'll do well at it, man. And I'm hoping to serve my country and do the right thing.
Hell
yeah. Yeah, I've been through a lengthy interview process with them. They fucking polygraphed me and asked me all that stuff about my family and everything. It's
Yeah.
wow, dude.
Right. Because they run a background check and they see everything right away,
Oh, yeah,
right?
you gotta have a security clearance and everything, But yeah, I'm hoping to pivot towards that. And if not, man, I'll just keep pursuing what I'm doing now with pace recovery.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
doing that, dude. And keep helping other people.
What are you doing
and
exactly?
It's a federal agent position with
At Pace, what are you doing?
at Pace.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, so I've been at Pace so long, bro. I've literally done it all there. So I'm kind of like a utility worker in reality.
Right.
But my title on our website is fitness coordinator. So we have a wellness track, which is like life skills based.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, make your bed, brush your teeth.
Right, right.
Let's get out, let's exercise, let's eat right, a little bit of nutrition in there. Learn how to just do basic stuff, and you'd be surprised that so many young men, we don't do this at Pace, but a lot of people pay for other people to change their oil or their tire.
Right.
Where I'm from, people just know how to do that. We don't go somewhere to change a tire or it'd be insane. I was saying, yeah, I'm going down to oil stop. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm getting my oil changed. He's like, well, how much is oil there? I'm like, oh, it's like $150. It blew his mind that I was having somebody pay, or I was paying somebody to change my oil. It's like, you do that in your yard, son. So and to keep a whole body type of wellness and keep a mental track of where you are and who you are at that certain time.
Yeah.
Have
And some routine.
Have a disciplined routine and a regimented type of life with about everything that you do. So that's what I specialize in. Specifically, I'm a personal trainer and a nutritionist.
Yeah.
For PACE. I'm also a chemical dependence counselor as well. So I've done case management. I've done resident management, which is where I manage a whole house full of people. and then I'd handle each individual caseload. I transport high-valued clients and at-risk clients that are in psychosis, that threaten to other people with weapons and stuff. I'll get them in the car, and if something needs to be done, somebody needs to go to the psych ward, somebody needs to be picked up from jail, somebody's high-risk transport, they call Bub. I'm the best at it. I pick them up from the jails when they commit fucking outrageous crimes and they're in psychosis. I picked one guy up from San Diego, dude, and the guards, these are like armed guards. They walk Buddy out, and he's a crazy looking guy, and he's talking to himself, talking to the aliens and everything else, and he's like, let me go, talking to the guards, and the guards looked at me like, yo, you sure? I was like, turn him loose, buddy. They were like, yo, I don't know. I was like, this is what I do. And that guy's back at San Diego State right now pursuing his bachelor's. We got him straightened out. Animal in the gym too. Just seen him, man. Animal in the gym. I worked with him. One of the greatest success stories I've got to work with. Great guy.
What is it like seeing people being able to change their lives like that?
Well, that's what you do it for.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm a realist. I need to keep the lights on. That's my money. That's how I make my money, right?
People depending on you.
Yeah, dude. Just like everybody's got a job. It just so happens that I relate so deeply with my job, it makes me a little bit better at it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, like, to see somebody do that, it's I've said it before, it's like the cherry on top, man. If I can make money doing something that I have real world experience with better than most people, because I've talked to I don't know how many doctors, brother, and psychologists and counselors over the period of my life, man. Okay? But there's something about sitting there talking to another person that's just like you.
Right.
That no PhD, no MD, no this, that, and this.
Can't teach you about it.
Can teach you, because it's a personal relationship that's like rooted in that turmoil.
Right.
Whenever I'm talking about this at a deep level with another person about the cravings and stuff, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And right there's the connection.
Yeah, no matter how much they want to ignore you and write you off.
And then they see me with 9 years doing all the things that I love to do. I'm a productive person, got a beautiful girlfriend, a son, family,
and
a
also
car, a place to live.
And a presence too, like you walk in
and I'm jacked, son.
You demand respect too, you demand respect.
And they see that, and they're just they got 10 days, and they're hopeless and helpless, and they're suffering, so it gives them like a little bit something to look up to, like, this is what a sober man looks like. This is what it is. You know what I mean? And to see that person go from that to turning and being their own person. Right. It's a cherry on top, man.
Yeah. It has to be like a little bit trippy, right? Just to see like, bro, the potential, as I was talking about earlier, like the potential inside of everybody, no matter where we're at, right?
Bro, you wouldn't believe how many people are just kicked to the curb or written off as this, like the homeless people, like bums, degenerates, scumbags, this and that. And what those people, if they're rehabilitated properly, can bring to the table of a normal society.
For all the money we spend on all these other things and helping foreign wars and
unbelievable
and this and that, and we got, it's essentially like gold mines and just sitting right here on the sides of our roads.
I try to stay, like, publicly, I try to stay out of, like, the controversy and this and that and religion and stuff, but anymore, dude, I tell people I believe in God, and we probably shouldn't be sending billions of dollars to other places when we got problems here. Maybe sure. I don't know, I ain't an expert or nothing, I'm just a redneck from West Virginia, but it just seems to me like, hey,
I shouldn't be trying to fucking feed the kid 4 fucking houses down, 4 blocks down, when I haven't ate in 6 months.
There's people all over these streets right now that ain't ate. Right now, dude. Sure. There's a guy who lives beside my house. He's got a shopping cart and tent. I don't know. But yeah, man, it's been crazy though, and to say that life is, at the end of the day, like, whenever I'm talking about my own life, some people have a pessimistic view of, like, people that struggle and that they've been cursed or damned because of what I have. And I look at it like the opposite. At least whenever I die, I'll be able to say that I achieved at least something that I'm very proud of, that has no monetary value. It's something that's personal to me, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though that I strive for that monetary value, but I'm cool with just knowing that I accomplished this and I'm a better person.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And you should be, too.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, maybe that's egotistical, but I think that's...
No, it's not. It's
cool.
It comes from a genuine place, for sure. Because you have to, like, it's a part of your journey, and there's nothing wrong with being proud of how far you've come, but also being proud of the faith that you've earned, too.
100%.
Like, you know, because the faith is earned also.
And I don't... And another thing, I was talking to Elias. Me and Elias were talking the other day, and I got to give credit to Elias. He, you know, works with me one-on-one and stuff, and yeah, he's kind of a hard ass. You know what I mean? You know, Elias, he's kind of a hard ass. You know, But I was talking to him the other day, man, and we were kind of having a great conversation. And there's this other guy at the gym, and I'm like, damn, man, I wish I could fight like that guy. You know. And Elias is like, man, that's funny to hear you say that, you know, because I guess other people have went up to Elias and been like, yo, I don't want to partner up with Sturgill, you know, like, hey, that's craziness. And what provoked the conversation was there's this new guy in class, Angel. I think it's his first day. Like, the man ain't never thrown a kick. Mm-hmm. But he was a big guy. So I'm like, oh, big guy, thank God. Like, hey, buddy, come over here. Let's get some drills and let's roll. Yeah. And then he was holding pads, and I soon realized I was like, oh, shit. Like, this guy ain't don't know nothing. Like, And I was like, it's going to be a bad session because I'm thinking about all about me. You know what I mean? And I started helping him out a little bit. And I'm like, oh, put a pad here. And it turned out to be a great session because I got to help that dude learn a new skill. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, he went to Elias and was like, yo, I didn't want to be partnered up with Sturgill because he's got this black eye and he looks intimidating and big. But actually, it turned out to be really good because he taught me a lot. And maybe next time I could come in here, I could work with Sturgill. Yeah. You know, see, I don't think like that, you know. Mm-hmm. So just different perspectives and stuff kind of like, you know, give you a little bit of a shift. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then also too, it's you have those skills like to be able to talk to people and help people. Your counseling background and all that transfers into these other areas of life where you're able to communicate and kind of guide people, and no matter the situation too.
Yeah, he told Elias, he was like, yeah, Sturgill was great. He looks like this big, you know, like I was like nervous and intimidated or whatever. Turned out to be like awesome. Yeah, you know, and I was like,
absolutely. Yeah, it's weird.
Wow. I didn't realize that. You know?
Yeah, no, it's right. It's not cliche. It's not repetitive, but it's like almost like a little bit corny. Like, bro, like join a gym, join a gym. Or like, bro, like you don't like people who've never done it. I didn't know until I got there, bro. Like it requires so much. Like your communication skills. Like you can't be shy there and like fucking. No, I'm not gonna have a partner today. Let me just hit the bag. Like, you gotta get a partner. And your usual partner's not there, so you gotta get a new partner. Somebody's brand new, and you have to have patience. And then you're getting pushed, and then you have to, you know, and there's older people, younger people. Like, bro, everything it just requires of you just makes you change and grow so rapidly on so many different levels, 100%.
Bro. Like, I got partnered up with you know what I'm talking about, the old guy that goes there.
Yeah, Stu. Yeah.
Me and him.
Yeah, that's Uncle Stu. He's like the uncle.
That's Uncle Stu, bro.
Uncle Stu.
You know, I was like,
the whole gang.
Man, I'm gonna go with this old man. Like, God dang. He put me, you know, through a pad session. I was like,
no, he could.
That's right. Dang, how old are you? He's like, I'm 65, whatever. That's right, I was like, dang, brother. That gives you hope. Like, hey, man, I'll be able to do that when I'm 65.
Yeah, for sure. No, the holding pad, he'll make you work. He makes you work when you...
And sparring with him, you know? Yeah. He'll hit you.
Yeah, he ain't small, for sure.
Yeah, he'll hit you with that jab. Stick. I was like, dang. Yeah. Okay.
Well, especially you guys are big, right? So it has to catch you off guard.
Yeah, but it's cool. You remember your first day walking in there? I was scared to death.
I was terrified, bro.
Scared.
I was sick to my stomach at 12 p.m. in summer 2022.
Yeah, dude.
I was sick to my stomach, bro. Like, what am I doing here, bro? Like,
What? Yeah.
yeah, I was just, my stomach was in knots. Like, I asked like a kid, like a 16-year-old kid. I was probably like 28. Like, help me with my raps. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's start jogging. And like, like you're good for now. Like, I'll show you later. Like, all right, fuck it, let's just start jogging. Like, in there was another coach at the time, and he's like, all right, let me help you guys out. Like, look, you guys relax though. Like, you guys are really nervous and really jittery. Like, just chill, just relax. 1, 2, and a hug. I'm like, bro, it's just fucking so tense. Yeah, so tense, bro. So scared. But that's the growth, though, right? Like, well, you know, if if you're only doing things that you're comfortable with, you're not growing. You're not changing. Yeah, you're gonna do the same shit all the time, bro. You're not doing anything new.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I walked in there, bro. It was scary. I took you know, and I come from like the wrestling gym, you know what I mean, like the school cafeteria wrestling mats where we had to wrestle, and then the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in South Charleston, man. I mean, we wore shoes, so to take your shoes off was like different to me.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to kick the bags of the boxing. Like, you had to do 100 push-ups if you kicked the bags at the boxing gym. You know, and I was like, okay, at least I know how to box. I soon learned I did not know how to box. You know, I was like this. Oh my God! It's
been a while.
Take my shoes off and then trying to kick that damn bag, man. Oh man,
unconditioned shins,
oh, my
baby
God.
shins,
baby shins,
dude. Completely unconditioned.
Oh my feet, dude! I woke up the next morning, bro, and I got up and was like, oh, you know. But there was something about it, man. I was like, all right, I gotta go back. Okay, now I'm gonna get a membership.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, you know.
Yeah.
Man.
When did you start? Like, I think
2024, like early 20. No.
Maybe 2023.
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think.
2023. Yeah, because you were already around when my boy Fahad was still there. Shout out Fahad.
Fahad?
Yeah.
Is he big tall guy?
Nah, he's like my height. He's from Maryland. He's from Maryland.
Maryland?
He left though. He's not there no more. But I remember I remember when you got there and we did it. I was like, oh shit, like we got a big guy now. Like, oh, be careful in these rounds. Yeah. Be careful with these rounds.
Team Oyama is great though, bro. You
Yeah.
meet a lot of cool people, a lot of good stuff, and it's a great outlet for someone like me, you know. And every time I go in there, I know I'm here. I'm here to work, and if somebody needs help, they need help. I've got them. You know, I'll show them what I know, and
humility,
whatever.
like a code of honor too. Like, I was thinking when I said earlier, like it's scary how much like I owe Team Oyama to this platform that I'm building, and I thought, well, I mean, like the best thing I could do is when I'm in a class, like push and fucking work my ass off and be a good partner, and anybody that needs help, that asks me something, and just support when the pros are fighting and when everybody's competing. Like, just that's all I could, that's something good that I can do for everything that they've helped me to get to this point that I am with this little venture, this big venture that we're doing.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go to class, I'm the same way. You know, I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna baby this. I ain't gonna push, because Elias takes his time out to corner my fights, and then so does Coach Oyama.
Yeah.
Coach Oyama's cornered a couple of my fights, and I was like,
bro, how was that?
That's nerve wracking.
Right?
Honestly,
How was that?
because
I mean,
man,
from where you've come, how you ended up here, where you were 10 years ago, to now you're getting coached by a
that guy shouldn't have been cornering my. Like, I felt honored that he. So we did I fucking lost this tournament. It eats at me, and if they have it again, I'm gonna go in there and smash. Okay, I'm gonna go in there and smash, and I'll make sure my cardio is on point. Whatever we got to do to get this belt.
Yeah.
But it was a Grand Prix tournament. It was an 8-man single elimination tournament, and I entered it. And this guy, everybody was talking. This guy was predicted to win the tournament because he won it before. And I beat him. I was like, oh, I got this in the bag. I got him, dude, you know. And he was, bro, this guy, I never fought a guy like that. He's like a mini me, honestly. You know, my girlfriend was like, yo, you just beat mini you. And I was like, that's right, I'm me, baby. And
I'm big me.
yeah, dude, in the next, so I went I got out of that fight. I'm dog tired. I gave this man everything I had.
Yeah.
Come out on top. Thank God. It could have went either way, really.
Right.
They picked me. I was like, all right, thank God. Okay, going into the semis. I was fighting this tall guy named Christian. This man was like 6'6", like 240. He looked like a cobra. You should have seen. He had legs all the way up to his ass. Dude. I mean, long legs. And I was like, God damn. So I was talking to Coach. I said, I'm going to eat his legs up, Coach. I'm going to eat his legs up. And Coach was like, that's right, yeah. Eat his legs up. Right across the body. Overhand left to the head. Whap that low kick. I was like, I got his ass, you know. And Coach was like, all right, I'm going to go get us some waters. And then they're like, Sturgill, you're up. I didn't have but 5 minutes of rest, you know. I was like, oh, shit. And everybody's like, yo, where's Coach? I said, he went to go get some waters. Go get Coach. Go get Coach. So they went and got Coach, and now we're all set. We're walking out, you know, and I'm like, still like pretty tired. But in my mind, I'm like, all right, man, this is another Tuesday night at Team Oyama.
Yeah,
I'm always tired.
Yeah, back to it.
Yeah, even whenever I spar on Fridays, I always do pads with Elias first and then spar. Like, I'm always tired fighting. I'm used to it, man. And I wasn't used to it. He had them long legs. He kept kicking me, side kicking me. He had like a taekwondo background. He was good with those legs. Distance management. But every time I would get in, man, I'd hit that low cross, bang to the body, bang to the head, clinch, bang, and I'd eat him with the knees, knees, you know. And then they'd separate us. I was winning with the clinch. I was turning that 6'6" guy into like my height, man, and I was eating him with my knees, dude. Just clinching the shit out of him. That's all I could do.
Yeah.
You know, but in the PKB, they break the clinch after 2 knees. I felt like if I could have kept clinching him, I could have just weared him out and eventually got him like weared out with the clinch.
Yeah.
And knocked him out or something.
Yeah, changes the fight.
But I was too tired, man. And shout out to that guy. He beat me fair and square, brother. You know, maybe I'll get my cardio better. And we watched the last fight, and he ended up winning that tournament. You know, so if you're out there, I'm coming for you again. I'm coming for you again. I'll see you soon, big guy. You know.
Yeah, but it's just the experience has to be incredible, right?
Oh
just
man,
being able to do it.
Bro, having coaching
walking
in your corner,
out too, right?
Oh man, knowing, you know, you got Team Oyama behind you. They're singing West Virginia country roads, and you got the man himself calling Oyama behind you. You're like, I mean, you know, he walks out UFC fighters, and they got Carlos Esparza's a world champion, and you know, a bunch of other world champions from other organizations, and here's me in a fucking PKB, and I got caught, and I'm like, I just gratitude, thank you, and every time I'll just go out, and
do your best,
I'll lay my heart on the table.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's no way I'm gonna have those guys in my corner and be a, excuse my language, but be a pussy in a fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out there and throw it all in the line.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So lit.
It was super cool, man. And hopefully I'll have an opportunity to do an actual sanction fight here coming up if the government don't pick me for this job.
Yeah.
If I break a finger, I'm out. If I hurt myself in any way, I'm out.
Right, yeah. So you got to be careful.
I got to be careful. Be smart.
Yeah.
But if they don't select me, then, you know, I'll be super disappointed. I'll be super sad. And I think the way I'll handle that, just stick close to my peers, trust God, and we're going to book us a fight.
Yeah.
We're going to book us a fight and get to some business.
And give everybody hell on Friday nights.
We're going to give them hell on Friday nights again, yeah.
See you on Friday, Angel.
I'll see y'all on Friday, brother. But dude, podcasting's like that. That's like how people, like, you know, voice their whole, and you can actually see who somebody really is through a full conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Whether it's you, me, or whoever you're doing it, you know, personalities come out and they, you know, mix, intertwine, and you can see like who someone really is, and that's what I think a lot of people really appreciate.
Yeah, and I appreciate it too. Just being willing to share your story and be open about the things you've done, and like, you know, it's.
I mean, you can see my shit on YouTube. Like I'm doing crazy stuff on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I don't care to talk.
Bro, when you, however many months ago it was that I asked you, and we'll talk about your journey, and then I was like, and you're like, like your journey to over here to Orange County, and you're like, you know how I got here?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. And you got kind of like you chuckled at me like, like, boy, are you in for a fucking
it's
boy, are you in
insanity,
for a
dude.
treat?
Yeah.
You know what I thought it was? I thought you like walked here or something, like across.
I took a backpack and walked
like
here.
across the country, like legit, like you know, like people do,
They do that.
yeah, they bike ride, or I think somebody's skating on TikTok right now, like they're skating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that artist Mike Posner, he walked across. I was like, oh man, he hitchhiked or something and vlogged the whole trip. That's literally what I thought, bro. Like with how disciplined you are at the gym, I see you there every time I go, essentially, and you're training. Like, bro, I would have never thought that you had
man.
lived that life, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was a hopeless drug addict, alcoholic, begging for cigarettes at the Go Mart, brother. You know, at one point.
Yeah.
You know, and now I get to try to do my best with others and hopefully
Help
my
people,
story
yeah.
and help them out and stuff like that, dude.
And you're doing it too, bro. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You helped me today.
Yeah, you helped me out too, brother. This has been great.
Yeah.
It's been super great. I remember you asked me, and I was like, well, I thought about it, and I was like, oh man, like I don't know, like what am I gonna talk about? It's nerve-wracking. It's nervous, man.
Oh, and
you
then
know?
you don't know. Oh, like we've hung out and we've gone to like the fights to support and everything, but you don't know, like, oh well, shit, what's this guy gonna be even talking? What's he gonna be talking about? Am I gonna have to do all the work? Like, what's the? Yeah, it's hard because I'm here experiencing it. Like, I don't get to experience. I don't get to experience your perspective, or even my like the people that see me posting and doing this all the time. Like I get it. I'm only doing this, so I don't get to see it from other people's eyes. But like,
absolutely,
yeah.
dude. Absolutely.
Like it's. I guess when I go on my first one, like, but then I'll be experienced though too, like from doing this.
Oh,
so.
you'll know how to.
Yeah. So it's
like
gonna
that.
be a little bit cheating, kind of cheating, a little bit of cheating. But yeah, no,
dude.
it's.
And I've spoke at a couple, like, there's like there's an anonymous program I'm involved in, and I think it's like saved my life. That's where I get like a lot of my inspiration and stuff from. There's things called traditions. You don't want to speak publicly about it. It's kind of frowned upon to speak publicly about that part of my life. You know, what I do in you know, like Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I've spoke a lot publicly in those type of meetings, and after a while, you know, you'll just kind of get used to telling your story.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that too. Like you got a good story, bro. I could see some public speaking or some like maybe a book or something in your future, dude. For sure, bro.
Yeah,
like some type of something.
I don't know. Maybe I got pitched on a book one time years ago. Yeah. You know, from some producers and stuff, and I said, yeah, sure. I never did it. I never did it. You know?
Let me just fucking get this owl back that I took at this tournament.
Dude, 100%.
And then you then call me back after that.
Yeah, bro. You know, I mean, there's been stories for days on how I've gotten, I mean, not anything like good that I've done to you know, my schemes and stuff where I used to, you know, because like you can't really hold a steady job being a drug addict, and stuff, you know. But there at the end, I had no job. I was living with my parents, and you gotta find money, you know.
Yeah.
So like whatever you gotta do. I remember the government, they polygraphed me. They're like, they said, Mr. Jones, I'm strapped up to this machine, you know, and they're like asking me. I can't say verbatim what the questions are, but like you can imagine the stuff they ask you, you know, like
dead serious.
Oh, dead serious, son. And they're like, you know, have you ever committed a crime? Yeah. Like, you ever committed a crime and not reported it? I'm like, yeah. They're like, have you ever witnessed someone committed a crime and didn't report it? You're like, man, I'm failing this test, dude. This is bad.
This is a lot of yes.
This is bad news, dude. You know, and what experience that was, you know, to be in that kind of position from where I was. I was like, wow, that's just Just going through that interview process was just, I'm honored to do it and be there.
That's a fucking win in itself right there, bro.
Even during the interview, I hope I get selected. I'm praying, you know. But if I don't, that's okay. Then we'll just, like I said, probably get back in the ring and start training.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. You got things to do anyway, bro. No matter what, you got things to do, and you got favor, you got a story, you got you got a strength internalized, you know.
Yeah, brother.
That's been, you went through the fire to be here where you are, where you are now, man.
And the fire and the flames.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Sturgill, bro, thank you, man. I really
Hey.
appreciate it, bro. This was fucking awesome.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. Appreciate you being vulnerable and honest and fucking sharing your story to all our people listening.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been crazy, dude. Super honored to be here and a part of this.
Yeah.
And look forward to seeing more online, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Seeing
We're
some
gonna
more
keep it going,
guests
bro.
and
We're gonna-
keep rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm motivated, bro. I gotta do things, bro. I gotta do things. I gotta do
man.
things. I have
An
to.
idle mind's the devil's playhouse. You can't just be still
Yeah,
and not do anything,
right,
man. You
right,
got to keep
yeah.
going. Got to keep pressing.
Yeah.
Make your stuff come alive.
We gotta get
just like
some-
anybody else.
Yeah, we gotta get some dubs.
Absolutely, we got to get some dubs. I
Yeah,
got to
we
get
gotta
Big
s-
Buddy back.
Yeah.
You know?
The podcast is going from here. Just where are you going from here, bro? What's next for you?
What's next right now? Like I said, man, hopefully get this job for the government. But if not, then keep working at Pace Recovery Center, helping everybody that's struggling with mental health, drug addiction, alcoholism, and if I don't get that job, we'll be back in the ring, baby.
Yeah.
We'll be back in the ring at 32, doing what I can. You know,
Oh yeah. That's better than doing
nothing.
what you can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
bro.
right.
Absolutely. Get me some more wins.
There's no quick fixes for something like addiction. But what do you think is like not a simple, but like what's the thing people underestimate in the power, like its power to change, like your life, I guess.
I think the whole idea surrounding the possibility of God or higher power, creative intelligence, whatever you want to call it, in the power of that working in your life is super underestimated in the entire populace of human beings. The power of that. People have been fighting and killing each other for thousands of years over this type of stuff. And I think if people can come together and realize that, there's a fundamental idea of God in each man, woman, and child, I believe. You can come to realize that for yourself, that you can live a more purposeful, fulfilled life as an individual rather than, fighting about is it true or is it not.
Yeah.
It's for each individual, and I think I've discovered that, and that's what I'd say,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I knew you had a good answer.
Yeah.
GFH episode number is not important when the episode's important. This episode was important. Thank you, Sturgill. That was awesome,
Thank
bro.
you, brother.
That was awesome. I'll give you a hug.
Absolutely, brother.